Good afternoon all of you. Post lunch session, so I thought let us keep it more interactive. Anta. We are discussing something that all of you, like the present generation, in fact everybody in this generation is most interested in, that is being online or using internet resources. For various reasons you might be using internet resources, online resources, but for today's class we will be learning about how to use it for your learning purposes. So, myself Dr. Shruthi, I am assistant professor from Department of Radio Diagnosis. I will be discussing with you the topic, that is accessing online resources or using online for in various ways and various formats for your learning purposes. So, what is the objectives of today's class? Today we will learn or we will understand what online resources are. What are the types of online resources, what are the different formats that we get, what are the different ways that we can access our learning resources, and we will also know which are, we will also keep it interactive to know which is a reliable source, which is not a reliable source, and which is the easier way of access or which is a tedious way of access, and which is more beneficial for students and which is most trusted way of resources, and also advantages and disadvantages of these various resources. And you all must be knowing what online resources are. I know this topic is very much well oriented with the present generation, but what online resources are? They are internet based equivalents of the conventional form of studies. Conventional form, conventional forms are like books, articles, pictures, or any activities that you were asked to do in your college life or school life, or homeworks that were given to you to learn. So, these are all the more conventional forms of learning, but this internet based resources are equivalents of these conventional resources. So, what are these online resources? Why do we use online resources? As you all know, sorry, in the last year with the pandemic being so hard on us, it was very difficult to manage educational it was very difficult to access educational programs. We were not able to run schools. There was a lag in our educational system, but still these online resources are the ones which have helped us to keep it going, to keep it to be able to reach to various students in various far off places through this mode. So, that is why online resources, online learning resources are very important. There are 60% of the entire population access web for various reasons daily, and 30% of them maybe several times a week for various reasons, and 80% of them primarily use their emails and internets for learning resources. That is what the studies recently have shown. So, when these many people are using internets for various reasons, why not use it in learning purposes, or why not use it in educational purpose, right? So, that is why we will see how to use online resources for learning purpose. So, these are the types of online resources, that is ebooks, e-journals, e-theses, online databases, CDs, emails, FTPs, that is file transfer protocols, remote logins, World Wide Web. All these are the forms or the types of online resources which you can use for learning. So, coming to each one of this, we will discuss each one of this briefly. Ebooks. Ebooks, the name itself tells, it is electronic form of the conventional books. You have books available at libraries. In the same way, ebooks are available at different sites. They are called e-libraries. So, ebooks have the same content, same tables, same formats as your conventional books. So, it is just a picture of your conventional book in the form of electronic media, and these ebooks can be viewed on different formats. There are like, for example, there are PDF formats, there are HTML formats. So, PDF formats are most commonly widely used through which you can read your ebooks, and there are dedicated e-readers, that is the platforms where you can go and access books. You all are very well aware of Kindle, Kobo, Onyx. Kindle, most of you are aware of it. You use to read novels or your stories or something like that. So, Kindle, these platforms are also providing not only these novels, they are also providing your medical related or your career related books or anything like that you can access. And personal computers or smartphones or anywhere these e-readers or e-platforms, these platforms for e-books are available. So, most commonly we all have smartphones on our hand, they are very handy. So, it is very easy to access e-books. Anytime, any moment you want to go refer to some book. With conventional books it becomes very difficult, conventional forms, but I think with e-books anywhere you want to refer to some chapter, some paragraph that you have read in a particular book or some formula, some image that you want to see, it is very easy with e-books in this present era. Now, coming to e-thesis, you all will have to do thesis in your post graduation levels. Thesis, how to do thesis is all a different topic, but e-thesis or electronic based thesis, it is a digital form of the conventional thesis that we do, and these e-thesis can be accessed via internet unlike the conventional thesis. Thesis which we all have done were all in conventional forms, where we had to do a research on a particular topic, and with the collective data we had to print it into books and submit these books or these papers, the case studies, the case files to our particular mentor, and they would and we would also print different books for college, say for the sake of our department libraries or for our mentors or for personal use, etc. But the job was very tedious, trust me. So, now e-thesis has made it very easy. In the recent years, even RGHS has started e-thesis. The last 2 years, I believe students are submitting their research works or theses or paper works in form of electronic based thesis, and along with a hard copy submission you can do e-thesis as well. So, if somebody wants to keep their work in the form of a hard copy, even that is possible. An e-thesis, if you want to refer to your thesis, you want to show somebody your thesis, you want to present your thesis somewhere, even that is possible through e-thesis, and as I told, RGHS has also adopted this method. Coming to e-journals, journals earlier were available only in published forms, that is the conventional paper printed forms, and they used to, and they would be stored in libraries, and to access these journals it was a very difficult job. If you have like 3-4 journals present, 3-4 prints of a same journal present, only 3-4 people could use it. But now e-journals in e-libraries are stored, and there are links to access these e-journals, and at one time many people can use this or access these e-journals at a time, and so the job is easier now. So, e-journals, now we have 2 forms of e-journals, that is either you publish it in a print form and you publish your journal and also give it to the digital form, and the other format is that which is only available in digital form. I believe the one where we publish it and also have it in the digital form is much more advantageous, but the advantage of the second form, that is only digital form, where you have only the digital form, is that it does not require a publisher, it does not require an editor. It can be done all by yourself, the publishing part, the editing part, everything can be done by yourself. So, there is much more less work compared to the form where you have to publish it and also print it and also have a digital form. Next are these online databases. These online databases are the most effective ways of accessing e-books, e-journals, e-thesis, anything online you have to access is through this online databases. All the above discussed, what we discussed previously, that is the journals, the books, the thesis forms, all these can be accessed through these online databases. These are the collection, online database, it is a collection of all the things that we discussed or we understood earlier. So, from various publishers and from various fields, various sources, these online databases have a collection of all these journals, books and other learning sources, and on these platforms you can go and access them easily. So, CDs, as you all know, CDs are very old ways. They are mainly used to store data, to carry your data from one place to other, and it is very easy in compared to carrying it through conventional forms, and it makes learning or sharing your learning aspects, sharing your knowledge or sharing your information to one another easier. And because of the internet, because of there are times where the CD is much more easier way of sharing information than compared to these online books, online resources where you need high speed internet, which is not available at all the time for everybody. So, in those areas, those cases, CDs are much more helpful. Coming to electronic mail, that is email, which you are all very well versed using it daily, day-to-day life for instant transfer of messages, instant transfer of mails, links to various things. It could be your movies or it could be your study purpose or anything. The same thing can be used also to share multiple links, to share your information, your study information in a very easy way. So, these mails are there. Another variant of mail is where you provide a link to any learning source that you want to share with your friend. So, when they access this link, they also reach the same page, and then both of you can discuss about the same page. But to share this link, the platform that we use is email. It is very easy to share, and as you can see in the image, the same link can be used by many users, and these links can be shared through emails to different users, and all of you can reach the same page, discuss about the same topic in a very easier way. And this is now mainly used with the last year of pandemic. Emails are used to send links of the study material that is created by the teachers, and these study materials which have received through emails are again accessed by students, and you want to share the same links to your friends, that again you can email them. So, this is a way email is used in learning resources. So, file transfer protocol, it is a standard internet protocol for transferring files. Now you want to access something from a computer, access a link or access any form of media from a computer which is very far off, then file or you want to transfer the link from your computer to a far off computer. So, the access between these two computers from your computers to this to one of a client, the job is done by the file transfer protocol, and what it does is it allows computers to rapidly retrieve complex files intact from a remote computer and view these files, save such files, and store these files. So, that job is easily done by file transfer protocol. Now, coming to remote login. Remote login, as you all know, this thing, it permits a computer user to log on to any other computer or use any other link by as if you were there near the link or there near the source, you can use it. And through remote login, lecturers also from various universities can access to their old university computers or their peers university computers, and in that way they can connect to internet through anywhere in the world, and sharing of knowledge, sharing of information becomes very easier. You do not have to travel worldwide, you can do it right sitting at your home. Coming to World Wide Web, that is commonly called as web, or we all know it as web. It is an information system of interlinked hypertext documents that are accessed via internet. These are this World Wide Webs, that is the web, it almost incorporates every protocol available on internet. It can be either in the form of an email or a file transfer protocol or through a telenet. All these are together incorporated in the web. These hypertext files can be retrieved and searched through a special protocol known as Hypertext Transfer Protocol, that is HTTP. This is required. It helps in simplifying and also writing the address of the links that you send, and that is incorporated in the web, and it becomes easier to share and access the information. And these web documents are viewed using internet browsers, which are internet browsers are the software programs that allows an internet user to view documents. Like for example, we have the most commonly used one is the Microsoft Internet Explorer. They translate or they transfer these HTTP files, and they encode the files into different forms, like it could be text, it could be images, it could be sounds and other web features. And through these resources, a student gets an access to study and research materials, and also teachers and peers get an access to these research materials, and other developmental benefits are there from this web. Advantages of e-resources. Advantages and disadvantages. And now you know, for anything it is, there is two sides of a coin. So there will be both advantages and disadvantages, and it is all it is left to us how to use these internet resources in learning in a good way, or it can also lead you into a bad way. We'll be discussing about the advantages first. Advantages is now, as you all know, accessing the learning process, the process of learning through these e-resources has become very easier because of e-libraries, where you can access sitting at home. You can access to the e-journals or other books, e-books from your e-libraries, and it is also helpful in conducting researches. That is where you can put this remote login into use. You want to read books in the different universities or their different university theses or works, you can access through remote login, and also that helps in conducting researches, and also submission of assignment, that is e-thesis. Now the tedious work of printing a book, recording it, collecting it, saving it, over time it just keeps bulking upon. That is not happening through this e-thesis. Now that helps. Submission of assignments have become easier now, and also the most important thing is storage of whatever learning resources that you have collected over these internet resources. To save that, it is also more useful. So whenever you save it, you can go back and look into it when you have a doubt or you want to refer to something. It is easier because it is already saved in saved through these internet resources, and through cloud computing you can access all of this easily. But the other concerns, that is I would not call it disadvantages, but what are the things that you have to keep in mind to not make this internet resources as a disadvantage is that first of all, you should be aware of plagiarism. That is showing others' work as a work done by you, which is called plagiarism. That is, the image there shows. You should the copying, when you are copying a content from somebody else's work or somebody else's research, you should always give credits to the person who has done the study, who has done the research. But in case that is not done, there is a chance of your information getting hacked and portraying it as their work. So that is plagiarism, which is very easy in this internet era. So that you have to be very aware of. And lack of reliability, that is, you have information coming from various sources, but you are not aware which source to trust, which source is reliable, which source information is correct, which source is the one that you have to follow. So all these are to be kept in mind. So you have to always access a reliable source and a source that is trustworthy. And also you should know about the quality of the information that is coming from these sources. There are various sources which a few of them are just misinterpretation of somebody else's work, or wrong information that is given, or it could be an old information which is not an update to the present era, whatever updated information that is not available. So, you should be able to access a reliable source where you have, where it is trustworthy, and also you know that the information that is coming from there is good quality information and the recent updated information. And quality control issues are always there with any online information, be it a learning process or be it any other, like you are watching a movie or a song, or you're on a WhatsApp call with your friend or a far off relative of yours. There is always quality issues when it comes to internet, but again that is one of the concern. But when it comes to learning resources, I don't think this quality issues much of an problem. Then comes to overload of information. The overload of information, as I told, you are getting information from various sources, various links, various your friends are sharing information from various sources, your teachers are telling, you have various ebooks available. So, there is a lot of information. Now, there is overload of information. There are chances where this could lead to confusion between the students, and there are chances where this could lead to the wrong understanding of the information that is given because of various sources of information. So, this overload of information is another concern when it comes to online learning resources. And financial constraints, as you know, it is a very practical thing. Not everybody is easily accessible to the internet. Not everybody has a smartphone. Not most of you must be having a smartphone, but not everybody has a tab or a computer at home, and internet, the speed of the internet, everything now comes under financial constraints. That is one of the concern. And changes in work habits. Now, when the work becomes easier, that is accessing your learning resources becomes easier, it leads over a period of time, over everyday usage of internet, everyday usage of online classes, you get used to this pattern, and that causes change in your work habits, which is in your hand to direct it into a right direction, or you can also get I mean, this change in work habits is a thing that has to be controlled, that is under you to how to use it. So, these are few of the concerns, but I feel the advantages that we are getting through online learning resources are much more than the concerns that we have come across. So, these concerns are not the disadvantages of online resources, but these are the things that you have to keep in mind when you are submitting your work or you are using others' work. So, I hope you understand these concerns. And to conclude my topic, the resources, that is what, as we told, it comes with a lot of advantages, and it also helps in solving many professional problems like remote access and storing, and convenience in your usage, convenience in accessing other resources, other research papers, etc. And this online resources, what I personally feel is it gives lot of opportunities for research studies, that because you have information from various sources. So, you, to do a research study in this circumstances becomes much more easier than when you rely upon conventional books or conventional method of studying. Online resources are much helpful. So, in the last year with pandemic, I think all of you have already started using these online resources for learning, but I hope you will continue to do it, and in a better way, with keeping in mind all the concerns, you will use it in the right way, the online learning resources. So, thank you. Keep the doors for learning open, that is be it through conventional method or internet or online method, or whatever it is, learning is your first motto. So, always access a trustworthy source or a reliable source with good information, good quality of information, and please make a good use of the online resources, online learning resources. Thank you. So, further we will, now that we know different ways of different formats or different methods where we can use these internet online learning resources, now we will see how to do it, and there will be a small demo about how you can access, or various links or various platforms where you can send in and also access these learning resources. So, that will be shown to you. So, I think your job will become easier when once you see it. Now that you know it, once you see it, how to access the information, it becomes much easier. Okay.
Students, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sorry for the poor internet quality. The streaming quality has gone down because of the low speeds. Now I'll try to show you some ways of accessing online resources. So all of you know you are using Google Meet or YouTube right now to actually learn, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is a way of this is a one example of how you can actually use internet online resources for your learning method. Okay. So I'll show you. See, right now you are seeing a screen, right? You can see a, you can see I have opened a web page called Radiopedia. Since madam is a radiologist, she asked me to open that, and so that she can also probably talk about it. So this is one of the good resources. It's a reliable resource for learning newer advances or something that you have not come across, or something that is quite rare or common but with different kind of a presentation. So you will get quite a lot of learning material from here. So this is one of the examples of reliable sources of information which you can use. This will also stimulate you to think, because it is presented in such a way that you will be asked a question and you will have to make a diagnosis or something like that. So from your second year onwards, you can probably use this source as well to learn about radiology. Similarly, there is another one called as Medscape. This I have signed into this Medscape website, and here you can see there is drugs and diseases. If you click drugs and diseases, you will get a list of all the diseases and conditions that you can actually read about. Let's say, for example, there is anatomy subject. Okay, so in anatomy, let's say we want to study some brachial plexus anatomy. So I open this. So this is an online resource which is like a textbook. It is formatted in such a way that you can actually easily read the entire thing about brachial plexus along with all the relevant clinical anatomy that you want. And this website also has a Android and iOS application which you can download. You can download Medscape application from your Play Store, and you can download all the resources also, that is all the articles that they have written about every subject. It is not just about one subject. Medscape contains all kinds of subjects, all diseases, all drugs you can even identify, and it also has a lot of calculators that you generally use in your clinical practice, like there are so many calculators that they have actually arranged them in alphabetical order, So there are many calculators which you can use. What is a Bishop score? If you want to immediately find out, you can actually use this to calculate a lot of things. You can use calculators to calculate the expected date of delivery or BMI. You can learn about procedures, like for example, in critical care, what is the process for chemical decontamination. So this is one of the resources which is like you would not find a similar kind of a resource in any of your textbooks, because it is not about one textbook. It contains all kinds of information from all specialities. So you can install this application in your phone and download all the resources that are available, and all this information will be at your fingertips throughout your medical career. It is not just for today, this will be useful for you throughout your life. And trust me, I do use this quite often. If I come across a patient that is kind of little, stumping me, I'm not able to make a diagnosis easily, then I go and search here about what it could be. Then it will give me a list of probable diagnosis, and I'll go over whatever description or pathology of it and learn about it, and then probably it will help me also treat the patient, because you can actually learn about all the drugs, diseases, how to treat them, what patients present with. Everything is available in this. There is a wonderful resource for you as well, as students, and also once you become a practitioner, this will become a really useful tool. Apart from that, you have many more resources, which probably Sharath sir will continue in the next session. He will show you some of the resources. I can also show you some other resources, some other ways of accessing online content. Like, say, I have opened my Facebook. You can use your social media apps also to learn a lot. For example, see, this is one Science Nature page. We'll go, if you open that, these kinds of pages, they keep posting something related to science. Like, for example, see, this week in science from 18 to 24 January 2021. This is an update about this week. The coronavirus needs cholesterol to invade cells and form mega cells. Without it, it cannot sneak past a cell's protective barrier, study shows. This is a kind of information that's on the bleeding edge of research, and you come to know about it using your social media. You don't need high-funda links and websites. If you follow the right kinds of pages through your social media, you can use your social media. It can be a very useful information tool, but it can also be quite a dramatic force for polarizing you, because misinformation spreads much faster than the actual real information. So you have to be careful while you are choosing what to follow and how you use the social media. But these are some of the kinds of links that I can show you. Science Nature page is one. Similarly, there was one more related link, like Hashim Al-Gaili. He is a scientist who is actually one of the social media editors for Nature Science page. Okay, so he keeps posting some very interesting articles and videos. So he's posted about 13 hours ago. He's posted COVID-19 cases cross 100 million in the whole of the world, and there are 72 million that have recovered. So these kinds of things that you generally don't come across very easily can be found using your social media, but you should be careful what you follow. You can actually search for NJEM, that is one of the New England Journal of Medicine. They also have a Facebook page. They also keep posting. See, they have posted one clinical case, which is a very interesting case, which I read about this case. This is the kind of information that you generally don't come across in your textbooks. Textbooks are written and they are available for you to read, but you may not be able to see all that is there, because some of them get missed, they don't get updated. This was posted very recently. Similarly, you can learn a lot about what are the newer trends. Like treatment by CRISPR-Cas9 gene editing. Gene editing is still in research phase, but if you use the correct tools of information, then you will be updated with the latest knowledge. That is the power of internet, but it is up to you how you use it. Okay. Similarly, Lancet also probably has a page. We will see the Lancet, that is the official Facebook page for a very famous and very trustworthy medical journal. Okay. So, they also keep posting wonderful, very cutting edge research articles. So, try to follow these or like these pages, so that, so if I like this, from now onwards in my feed I will keep getting all the information or whatever post they post, like Nature Medicine, Science. These are the kinds of journals or pages that you should follow in your social media, so that you are updated round the clock. Whenever you look at your feed, along with looking at the pictures of your friends, you will also be getting educated, because something or the other actually will catch your eye, and you will click that link and you will open it and actually read something about it. So, that is how I keep myself abreast and updated very often. Along with this, I can also show you one more small link, or I will show you my channel on YouTube. I have created a YouTube channel for myself, where I do post some of the videos or lectures I take online. So, I am just showing you an example. This is my YouTube channel. I have actually conducted live classes, and for the first one day, actually your foundation course was also streamed there, because the college channel was not having a live streaming capability. So, you can see I have conducted a lot of classes online for neuroanatomy, for MBBS students, for BSc students. Similarly, there are a lot of other channels which also I follow. For example, you can see if I go to my subscriptions, I will show you my main page. If I go to my subscriptions, most of the stuff that you see will be related to something about technology or about science. So, for example, here in my subscriptions, you can see there are human anatomy lectures. I have subscribed to this, human anatomy lessons. So, you can subscribe to this as well. Okay. I have subscribed to Oxford, PBS Spacetime, and then the Royal Institution. This is also quite interesting, but you do not have to follow all of them. There are some good, this anatomy by Dr. Vijaya is also, she also teaches wonderfully, and she has a lot of videos about anatomy. You can follow that. Okay. So, these are the kinds of things like medical animations. If you want to learn some good animations, look at embryology animations. These videos will make it much more easier for you to understand embryology. Okay. So, use that. So, everything that I have followed is mostly about science and technology. Okay. So, use resources in such a way that it helps you or enriches you. You can find physiology YouTube channels, you can find biochemistry YouTube channels, you can find anatomy YouTube channels. Some of them I have showed you already. Please go ahead, subscribe to them and make use of these channels, and also use the websites and links I have shown you so far, and try to follow the kinds of pages which I shown you here like Science, Nature Medicine, Lancet, New England Journal of Medicine. By doing this, you will learn not by force or pressure, just by being on the social media, you will become much more scientifically literate and you will be much more informed. So, this is how you can be a lifelong learner. Okay. So, I think with that we can probably end this session and we can move on to the next session. If you have any doubts, please go ahead and ask me. Yeah, you are audible, Kiran. Go ahead.
So what is the use of the e-journal, sir?
See, earlier journals used to be print only, okay, but now all the journals are also available online as in electronic form. Okay, so you can actually access all of the journals, or that by journals we are referring to the actual scientific literature, scientific journals which are published. They are many of the international journals are published in print, but also they have a electronic format, that is usually PDF, which you can access online and read. That is a use. If you want to update your knowledge about something, yeah, Kiran, can you come again?
Means the journals are like the reference on what you are studying.
Yeah, journals can be a reference for what you are studying. And see, in medicine there is no standard prescribed textbook. Okay, sometimes you might have to go beyond what you are given. Like, you may have textbooks, you may have your library, but if you can't find something that is not, I mean, your library doesn't provide you that information, and your teacher or your patient, you get a patient, is not, forget about teaching and learning about learning for passing exams. You have a patient and patient presents with back pain, but you can't identify why he has the back pain because you have done all kinds of tests. Nothing actually seems to make any sense. And this, I am giving you a real example. It has happened to me. A patient came with history of back pain from 3 months. Before 3 months, he had fever. History of fever with back pain. He had actually consulted a lot of people already before he came to me, and I asked him to get a MRI scan done. And with MRI scan, the MRI report came as something called as a spondylodiscitis, which is a very rare infective problem that affects the spine, backbone. And that is so rare that I had never heard of it. And to treat that person, I had to read. How did I read? Where did I get the information from? From these journals, electronic journals. Because only there you can find the relevant information that you require, because you are not the only person that has probably seen such cases. Even though it is rare, it is 1 in 2 lakhs or something, but you still can find information regarding that, because other people who have seen similar kinds of patients earlier would have published their work and their research, and that gets published in the journals. That is why you require journals to become a better doctor. Is that clear, Kiran?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. Anything else? Any other doubts? Any other doubts, guys? You can go ahead and ask me if you have any doubts. I can clarify regarding online resources and whatever other things that you want to know about. Do you think this showing you the relevant YouTube channels and how to use social media to learn, and the kinds of resources you can access online, Do you think it was useful or helpful?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is not an exhaustive list. This is not the end. There is, I have just shown you the, I have just guided you where you should go. That's all. Okay. You can find quite a lot more resources. Probably Sharat sir in the next session will show you some more. So be prepared for that. And do you have all? Most of you, I had asked you to get a laptop or a desktop. If you have that, probably it will be useful now. Okay. I think with that we'll end this session and we'll come back for the next one. Thank you everyone for patiently listening. I'll see you at 3 o'clock. Okay, you can leave this, give the feedback and come back later. Okay.